Hey everyone, it's Anya. Welcome back to my channel. And today for you, I am here with my weekly wax empties. And I do have quite a few partials in this basket because I just can't melt through all the things, but I am making progress, which is amazing. Also apologize for the color adjustment, whatever. I just got out of the shower after doing some dyeing because my hair hasn't been dyed in like 12 weeks, and I just found 2 more boxes of the gifted dye that my sister gifted me. So this is like the cherry cocoa, or the cocoa cherry cola kind of hair color, whatever. Right now it's kind of giving Carrot Top, but I do like a red. I just wish it wasn't so red. But it does fade out to an auburn. That does take some time. So, fresh dye. Got my brows on, no other makeup, because I just, like I said, just got out of the shower. I also have had a really long day at work. I don't want to talk about it. So let's just get into the good stuff, which is my favorite part of the day and my favorite video of the week, my fragrance empties. Okay, so I'm going to start with the partials first, and I have 3 tubs here that I have touched on from Second and Spruce. The first one is Partners in Wine. I melted a quarter of my tub here. This has wine cellar type, which is mulled apples, fig, and cedarwood mixed with Erica's blackberry. Her blackberry is phenomenal. Oh, and I really just love the addition of the blackberry with this wine cellar, which I've never had. I guess it's a Bath and Body Works type. It's kind of tannic. It's really fruity, warm, inviting. Like, I can almost smell like this beautiful wine vineyard. Like you're going to a tasting, they have them decorated with like fresh apples, and you can smell the barrels. Oh, this is fabulous. And this was a great performer in my living room. So usually with like a quarter of the tub, I know Erica is heavy-handed with her pouring, so I know that this is more than 8 ounces, but what I'll do is I'll usually cut about 2 or so ounces and split that into 6. So I'll like cut it in half here, and then cut those into the pie pieces that are marked on the back side. So I don't need 6 pieces to scent that my living room with this amount of wax, but I just wanted to like drown in it. Oh, it's fabulous. Love this one. Would 100% get that one again. Another one that actually, all of these I would get again. I've also melted some of my tub here. I've put Strawberry to Bed. This is Strawberry Pound Cake, Pumpkin Pecan Waffles, Pumpkin Sugar Donuts, and Zucchini Bread. Say less. I've used a little bit more than a quarter. This was a no warmer left behind situation, and you can see that I cut the 6, so it was kind of like a quarter and an 1/8. I don't know how much that is. Math is not working. My brain is tired, okay? Oh, this is so good. This is just... it really is its own blend. And I'm sorry, I had to like swallow because I almost choked on my own saliva. Which, in case you didn't know, in women, the older that you get, the higher chances you have of aspirating on your own spit. Whether it's just breathing, talking, sneezing. And you also lose your swallowing reflex the older that you get. Totally freaked me out when I learned about that. So just keeping that out there. This is sweet, but it's kind of savory with how the zucchini bread comes through. It's definitely rich with that pumpkin pecan waffles. And my favorite oil of the last 2 years, pumpkin sugar donuts. I would love to get this by the loaves, like at least 2 loaves, but this is going to hold me over through the rest of the fall and maybe even into the winter. Probably, if I can make it last that long. This is another one that I worked on. And this was a tub gifted to me from my friend Melissa Johnson-Haight. And this is Coffee with Graham. This is fabulous. This is house coffee beans, bear claw, hazelnut cream, and pie crust. I freaking love this. I just wanted to show you, I don't know if you can tell, but this is cut in chunks, basically. Because the coffee, Erica's coffee is so potent for me that I can use, like, I'll cut one of those chunks. So I'll have, like, I have 4 left here. I will cut that into 3 and put that in a triangle in the living room that I'm melting in. Of course. But that's all I need. And this is so rich and warm and cozy. Like if you were having coffee with your grandmother. Like you were having Danishes and her coffee was just freshly brewed. She's pulled out the hazelnut creamer. And you guys are about ready to do some family baking. Fabulous. Like you get this warm almond undertone. It's very nutty, but it's so rich. Like this is so good. And this was offered in the Wax Roadshow last year in May of 24, and it's still a champion. Love that. And I tend to like coffee more during the colder months, just because I feel like, okay, so don't come at me, but I drink hot coffee year round. I enjoy iced coffee, but I just have this also attention thing where I'll forget that my coffee, or I'll forget where I put my coffee, but I'll drink it until it's like room temperature. But if I have iced coffee, then once it comes from frigid up to room temperature, the ice waters down I'm not cool with that. So, even in the summertime, I drink hot coffee. I blame my dad on that. So he would drink coffee year-round, hot coffee, and he drank his black. So that's the farmer and military life for you. But yeah, so I have 2 loaves here that I've been working on since August, and these are from Teddy Bees. So I have melted a good portion here of my loaf here of Fireside S'mores, and this is actually still currently in my warmers, and it's still throwing at a solid medium, but this morning it was strong for me. This is toasted marshmallows, warm graham crackers, whipped vanilla, and Fireside. I don't know if it's the Fireside dupe, but it does have like this toastiness that comes also from the toasted marshmallow, but you get like this, it kind of smells like the actual embers, like the burnt down charcoal, but not offensive in any way. This is so rich and so decadent for me. I get the graham cracker, get a lot of the toasted vanilla, and it is stunning. And I actually melted brownie batter in the kitchen this morning. So I had that in the living room and then brownie batter in the kitchen. And oh my gosh, my house smelled like a freaking like fresh. You just pulled the marshmallow off your stick and you're putting the chocolate and the graham cracker all together. I'm here for a s'mores moment. That was phenomenal. And I would do it again. I think I have enough for maybe 1 piece in each of my 8 warmers in the living room. So I have 8 pieces here. Unless I decide to go through it a little bit more slowly, then I can do 2 pieces. So 4 melts. I'm going to do 2 in my 2 tea lights in there. Another one that I love, and this has not come back this year or last year, and I need this to come back because it is so good. But you have to like oatmeal cookies. Pumpkin cookie jar. I've had this in a souffle before that Summer gifted me, and I fell in love. Then, Second and Spruce did an oatmeal cookie blend, but hers was mixed with like a chai and maple, and it was so cozy and just on up there for me, the same level as pumpkin sugar donut. So this is oatmeal, brown sugar, vanilla, pumpkin, sugar cookies, and a hint of maple. Such a great performer in my living room. I think I might have another melt and a half. If I do 6 warmers, I can probably get with 2 more melts in the living room. So I'm slowly working my way through the pumpkin cookie jar, and I'm going to be so sad when both of these are gone. Just have to vote like crazy. And then my last partial here is I've melted half of my brittle here of Amityville from Sassy Girl Aroma. I picked this up, I think there's been quite a few of the wax community that have talked about this and have done hauls on this and also reviews and absolutely love this scent. So I was like, let me get this when I grabbed my loaf. That's It I'm Not Going. She had offered that at the same time. So Amityville is burnt sugar, whipped cream, sticky cocoa, vanilla. Nope, sticky cocoa, vanilla, fresh from the oven, bakery, and a hint of smoky firewood. It kind of honestly gives me a creamier version of Fireside S'mores. This one, this one is such a strong performer in my living room. I did a no warmer left behind. I've actually melted like a row of this before, but then I melted, I think it was 3 rows and split that among my warmers in the living room. And I may have used like 1 tea light. This is fabulous. Absolutely love that. I am thoroughly enjoyed Amityville. It's just sweet and creamy, a little toasty. Not too heavy in the chocolate though. It really just reminds me of like a s'more, minus the Hershey's chocolate. Although if you've never had a s'more made out of fire roasted peeps, you need to try that with the peppermint ones. And then Aldi's makes a really great chocolate. Aldi's is based out of Germany, and a lot of their chocolate is German, but it's like, I don't know if it's exported here or what, but it's so creamy. If you ever had Rittersport, that's also a German chocolate, I believe. I believe it's your Rittersport. Something about the magic and their fat ratio in all of the chocolates, like it just has a really great mouthfeel. It's creamy. Even the dark chocolate, even the nutty ones, all the cookie ones, all of it. It's basically, so if you take like just a plain chocolate Rittersport or even some, I like a creamier chocolate. Hershey's is great, but it doesn't, it's kind of like, it's kind of salty in my opinion, and I like a creamier chocolate, so I usually go for like a creamy Cadbury or Rittersport in my s'mores. But if you've never tried it with the peppermint peeps and graham crackers, and then your chocolate of choice, Ghirardelli, oh, Ghirardelli, like gourmet s'more. Anyway, fabulous. And that's it for the partials. So that's 6 partials. And then I have also finished up a tub. I have melted this is this last half of a tub of Hygge from Salt and Mountain Melts. And I got this in a destash, and I still think I have like 2/3 of a tub in my collection. This is Cashmere Cedar, Sugar Cookie, and Marshmallow Fireside. This is such a beautiful blend. I love how creamy the Cashmere Cedar is. It's got a jasmine, vanilla orchid note. Just warm, feminine, sweet. And then you get all this extra sweetness from the Sugar Cookie and the Marshmallow Fireside. This is a beautiful blend. It performed about a medium for me. And the tub I have is from the same pour, which was November of 2024. So I've enjoyed that last little bit of Hygge. Also have finished 100 counts of the Jumbo Cotton Balls from Equate from Walmart. And I have 3. Oh, we'll just go ahead and do Bender, then we'll jump into Scentsy. Okay. So I have 2 here from Lavender and Speckles, both from the Campfire Marshmallow Sampler. And if you didn't get that sampler, you are missing out. Okay, so the first one I melted through is Bonfire Bakery. Actually melted this yesterday in my living room. Split the snap bar, 1 row each for one of my each of my tea lights, and then 3 in a triangle in the living room. And this was phenomenal and a great performer. This is Campfire Marshmallow, Pumpkin Sugar Donuts, Palo Santo, and Cedar. This like gave me Pumpkin Sugar Donuts a la flame. Like it was like you get the bonfire, like this warm, toasty, beautiful, like smoky but woodsy, little resinous fire, and then that pumpkin sugar donut just adds a little bit of spice, some gourmand notes. This was beautiful. I couldn't smell it this morning when I woke up, but it did throw in the living room for a good, well, I had it in there overnight, but I could smell it by the time I went to lay down for bed, which is about like 10 o'clock. And I had put it in, what time did I get home yesterday? So 5 hours. It was good and strong before I went to bed. So loved that, and I would get that again. And I'm actually going to save that because I need all of these. Next one is Autumn Embers. Okay, so this is Campfire Marshmallow, Leaves, Cedarwood, and Amber, and Spiced Pumpkin and Apples. I loved this. I melted this in the kitchen. Oh, this was so good. You get this leaf note, and I'm usually not a fan of leaves, but the way that she blended in the cedarwood and amber, it gave like a sort of outdoorsy vibe. A little masculine, but not too much. And there's like this little kick of spice from that pumpkin and the apples. It was fabulous. This one was performing for, this one actually went in the kitchen and was still throwing at 24 hours. So highly recommend Autumn Embers. If you like smoky, but also kind of fall vibes, but not bakery. It was fabulous. I have another one off here. This is from Macaron Wax Melts in Butterbrickle, which is rich, buttery, sweet toffee. This was a 6-pack of macarons. And I put this in my crock in my kitchen warmer, and I couldn't smell this for much. Butterbrickle, even on cold, wasn't like a strong contender. Excuse me. It wasn't a strong, like a creamy toffee. It was like a light... I've never had Butterbrickle, I don't think. It wouldn't be one I would get again. It wasn't my vibe, but I do like toffee, but I mean, it wasn't as ooey gooey that I was looking for, or crunchy. I have 2 here from Teddy Bees in souffles that I have finished. I have finished one of my souffles of vanilla cotton and birch. And I've melted this several times here in my bedroom. This is Cozy Vanilla Birch, Beach Treats, Spun Sugar, Vanilla, Tonka Bean, and Soft Cotton. This is so pretty. This has vanilla cotton in it, which is a beautiful oil. And the way that her Vanilla Birch and the Beach Treats meld together came off like a woodsier, creamier, but light, like a light and airy addition to the vanilla cotton. This was so cozy, absolutely beautiful. I'm glad I have another souffle to enjoy this winter. I would also melt that in spring or summer. This one I need to get another quantity of. Oh, when I first got this last year, I was not a fan, but this had some magic happened while I was sitting in my stash over the year. So this is Fuzzy Socks, and I have melted this 2 pieces here in the bedroom, and then I did 6 pieces out in the living room for the second melt. This is Warm Woods, Cashmere Socks, and Marshmallow Fireside. The Warm Woods in here is very perfumey and musky, but so beautiful. I loved this so much. That Cashmere Socks, I don't know if that's a specific oil or what, but I absolutely love this, and I was blown away. This was strong. This lasted for almost 30 hours in the living room, and I would highly recommend if you like cozy, perfumey, woodsy scents. It was stunning. One I will not be getting again because it was not a great performer for me. This is from Sassy Girl Aroma, and I finished up my last half of my brittle here of winter biscuits. On cold, this is phenomenal. This is the sweet scent of Christmas baking permeates the home with warm hints of cinnamon, buttery pastries, gingerbread cookies, and patchouli. I was weary of this, but because of a lot of my friends here in the wax community have not stopped talking about winter biscuits being a sophisticated gourmand patchouli scent, I wanted to love this so much. I absolutely love this on cold, but I have to be right on top of my warmers in order to smell this. This is a beautiful spiced patchouli. I just wish it through. I can't get any sort of performance out of winter biscuits for me. Even in the tea lights, it didn't work for me. So I will not be getting that again, but I absolutely enjoyed it on cold sniffs. And then a mix I did. These are, this was like 2 shapes from Macaron, but they used to be called Scoopable Wax Melts in Haunted Manor. This is in the faded leather-bound pages of centuries-old book lies a vivid, eerie haunted mansion. This definitely has leather in here, but I do get like an old parchment kind of scent. It kind of gives me like an old school, like, big leather armchair. Something about this scent and this scent combined together. I had put these last 3 cubes here of Halloween Night from South of Sanity in my crock, as well as these here. This was like, this like set the scene for like how I imagined walking up to the Addams Family mansion would be like. It was like creepy. It's like cemetery air, like mossy, woodsy dirt. And then you have like this beautiful leather chair, like maybe Thing is like wearing a cuff on his wrist, or it smells like Lurch. I don't know. But this was so fun and I absolutely loved this. This was a strong performer. This threw in my living room. I put it in around 8 evening, so it was an overnight melt, but I put it in around 8. I enjoyed it for 2 hours, went to bed, and it was still throwing in only the crock in the living room, and this was so fun. So I enjoyed that mix. And that is it for Vendor. I do have some here of mine that I poured and melted. I melted a clamshell here of pumpkin chai cookies in my living room. I have been craving melting this since I've poured this. This is so good. Rich sugar cookies, buttercream frosting, pumpkin chai, and sugar milk. Like the way that the pumpkin hits with that chai. The pumpkin chai is one oil. I feel like I smell a hint of like an orange peel with this ginger and the cardamom spices, the masala. That's whatever notes are in this specific pumpkin chai. There's definitely a brightness with the citrus. But it's in the background. You're definitely getting like this pumpkin gorgeousness. A great alternative to like a pumpkin spice blah blah blah. Buttery cookies, this frosting, light and fluffy, creamy, and the sugar milk just rounds it all out. Loved that. In fact, I stole, I hoarded myself away another clam of that, and then I have plans on pouring myself a tub because I need it in my life in constant rotation. Okay, this was a souffle that I had poured of a blend that I was trying to see if I could come up with a dupe for Bright Cider Life. This wasn't it, but this was fabulous. This was mulled cider, sweet pumpkin, and vanilla velour, which is like a vanilla creamy, kind of musky scent. That mulled cider took this over big time. It was like a fresh mulled cider. The apples in this was beautiful. And I like how when it melted, it was kind of like a layer effect. First thing you got was definitely the cider. Then that creamy, sweet pumpkin, nutmeg, butter rum sort of situation kind of snuck in there and just kind of made it smooth. Oh, that was so pretty. I enjoyed that in the living room. I melted a tart of a blend that I had poured myself to kind of satiate my craving for pink lavender and espresso. So this was just espresso and lavender marshmallow. Melted that in the kitchen. This one was of a pumpkin shape of fright cakes, which is like my blueberry cobbler, cupcakes at Tiffany's, and cinnamon sugar pretzel. Melted that in the kitchen crock. Oh, that blueberry lasted all freaking day. So good. Then I've also melted, this was like a half of a souffle that I had left of Autumn Beach Trip, which I offered for this fall pre-order and will be available in the RTS this weekend. Autumn Beach Trip is roasted pine cone, summer marshmallow, which is beach nice type, cashmere cedar, and cashmere woods. I love this. The cashmere woods in here is like the Glade cashmere woods dupe. It gives it like a creaminess. There's like a sandalwood base to this that really plays on the tones. There's a sandalwood note also in the roasted pine cones. And the creamy beach nights. Like, this is a fabulous evening melt, and I loved melting that in there. And then this is the last bit of one of my test souffles, but this is the last one I had of the Moon in Your Eye blend. The Eilish type, vanilla beans, cashmere cedar, and campfire marshmallow. Melted that in my bedroom. Love that blend. And then I have 3 bars and 3 testers from Scentsy. So we'll do the testers first. I melted a tester of Christmas Cottage, which is like orange, raspberry, and cloves. This is such a like scent memory for me. This is one of the first bars I ever got from Scentsy in my son and I's first apartment on our own. As a single mom, like, I had the privilege of living with my parents while I attended college. Got my degrees up until Owen started kindergarten. So when he started kindergarten, I started a new job and we got a place on our own. And I had this Christmas sweater looking warmer from Scentsy. And that, I don't remember what it was called, but it was red and it had like this knit look, and it had like 3 black buttons. I had that, and then Christmas Cottage is one of the first scents when we decorated for the first time for Christmas. Yeah, I still love this. I have a bar of this in my winter stash to enjoy this fall and winter. And it is this one tester lasted for 2 days in the bathroom. Like, it threw for 2 days. This one also threw for 2 days. This is White Amber and Silk. This was my first time melting this scent. Oh my gosh, I love this. When I first smelled this tester, when we first got our testers, when I was a consultant, I thought it was too powdery, but no. This is like so, like a sophisticated, clean kind of laundry vibe, but perfumey, kind of sweet. There's got to be like a vanilla orchid note in here. I don't know. White amber. Maybe I like white amber. There's some ambers that I can't get with, like vanilla barnwood. I'm not a big fan of that one. And the last sample here is jeweled pomegranate, which has pomegranate and orange and mulled spices. I do enjoy like a pomegranate cranberry note for like the fall and winter. But because it took me so long to go through my brick that they gave to us during our scent of the month kits, like, I'm so burnt out on jeweled pomegranate. But I enjoyed it for what it was in there. All right, in my 3 bars, I have finished, or I melted one of my woolly slippers, which is a club bar for me. This is a marshmallow, vanilla bean, and lavender scent. Heavier than the marshmallow. I still love this so much. I'm so glad I have that in my club. That one, did I do that? I think I only melted that here in my bedroom. Another one that I melted in my bedroom, I was craving this scent. So, strawberry lemon cake. 2 different melts here. This bar is from my March Scented Club order. This to me is like a strawberry buttercream scent. and it performs well for me. I don't care that it's a lightish medium. I will medium all day this scent, and I am so glad I have 2 of these in my club. It just makes me so happy. And then here's that bar of brownie batter that I melted today in the kitchen. I actually turned off my warmer in my kitchen that still has 4 cubes in there and emptied out my crock, because the crock it melted through that faster, like the scent dissipated, but that warmer still has plenty of juice in it, and we'll melt that, continue that on another day. And that is, oh wait, I have one more thing. I've also finished up this little sample that Cindy sent me in friend mail of Spellbound Scents and Movie Night. This has like a grape soda, popcorn, there's some other fun note, and I put this in the bathroom warmer tonight while I was in the shower. This is fabulous. This grape soda is so good. It's not exactly like, maybe there's bubble gum. I don't know, but I'm kind of getting like a bubblegum accord. It's definitely grape soda. I don't pick out much of the popcorn, but this is just a fun, kind of nostalgic scent. I remember getting like a purple, probably call them purple sodas, but grape sodas like the Fantas or Sunkist. I think they did a grape every once in a while as a kid. I'm not a big soda drinker because of carbonation. I have a very sensitive palate, I guess. I was just never been a big fan of soda. I can tolerate them now more than I'm an adult, but when I was a kid, I always had to add water to my soda to make it less bubbly. I never really got to, like, I didn't enjoy root beer floats and Coke floats because of that. So I know I'm weird. Anyway, unique, whatever you want to say. That is everything that I melted through this week. I am going to eat some dinner super late and put the rest of this, just going to handle this in the inventory, my spreadsheet, and then put the rest of these away in my fall basket to continue melting on this winter and fall. Man, Partners in Wine is phenomenal. Not a dud. Loved everything except winter biscuits. That was my only dud. That's everything. I hope you guys are great, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Take care of yourselves. Bye.